So what are you saying? You don't want another donut incident there? Put the soundboard down and drive?
Yeah. I don't want it to be with my donuts.
Okay. Guess I'll balance my checkbook later. There's no good
Probably
news.
be no budget. Okay. What are you trying to fool?
Once again, welcome to Drinking the Maestro.
Almost relevant. Something.
And almost live.
Nanu.
Okay, so we forgot last episode to do a message from the sponsor.
Oh.
1-800-SLOPE me?
Well, who's in charge of that?
Me. I'm in charge of that.
Okay, then.
It's your contract. You did the contract, but I got it,
Yeah, I get the sponsor.
So should I try to read it? I got new copy here, but I haven't pre-recorded, so I would just try to read it. I could try to read it.
Sure. Doing it live.
Okay. Do it live, and then I'll go back and record it because you know me.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
I can't even get started now.
You gonna go? You gonna get going?
No.
Or I gave you a nice pregnant pause there to start on your ad copy, and you just kind of fell on your face.
It was beautiful. It's true. It's like bam, right there.
Well, I set you up for it. I let you go for it, and then you just tripped on the starting line and fell on your face.
I know. Okay, so here. Okay. Are you afraid of a 3-letter agency invading your curtilage, or do you just want some peace of mind at night? Well, get sloped at 1-800-SLOPE-ME.
Sounding familiar.
Our slopes. Oh, what are you doing to me here?
Our slopes are live commentary.
Our slopes are federally approved, and don't forget to ask about our free limited time upgrade for free misters. That's 1-800-SLOPE-ME. Call us now, and we'll get you sloped in no time. There,
You're really gonna have to,
more or less.
Yeah, you're really gonna have to work on that.
Yeah.
That poor sponsor paid for their time, and look what you're doing to them.
Pay nothing, get nothing. That's So they're getting.
You get what you pay for.
Their money's worth. They're getting their money's worth.
Yeah.
You know it. Yeah.
They're getting something, all right. I don't know if it's their money's worth, but they're getting something.
So we'll just keep flogging that whole slope thing into the ground.
Like a dead horse.
I have an update on the Maestro order strategy.
Ooh.
And I have discovered a critical flaw.
Is it you? Are you the critical flaw? Because that's what I'm leaning to believe.
Yeah, I am kind of a critical flaw, but yeah, I'm present in every scenario. So that's kind of just like control.
Common denominator?
It's just the same. Yeah, it's not like I'm there for some and not there for others. I'm always there. So we went to...
wherever you go, there you are.
Yeah, okay, Buckeye? Yeah, whatever.
I don't know.
I got that Wendy's app, right?
Huh?
So what we learned from the last time, or the time that's coming up, or something or other.
The time's really real weird around here.
Time right, actually. That when using the app, choose a restaurant that has online ordering available. Very important.
Yeah, we learned that last time at the one in...
I did. And it's still... Yeah. So I found the one that's online ordering, and I'm going to choose it. And then a boxing match ensues between me and my handheld computer, a.k.a. cell phone, because I like a little thing some of us refer to as security.
No, nobody wants that anymore.
Since I can't control only what I can control, I have security on my technology, including my phone. And I am trying to select the place that I'm going to do this online order. And I am boxing with my computer as all these security warning messages pop up, as well as messages from the app that are telling me, you need to give us permission. And then the other message coming up and says, don't give this thing permission. Do you trust it? I'm like, all right, you guys, knock it off. And it turns out they're fighting over my GPS.
They're fighting over your location.
Previously. They are fighting over not just my location history. Why does the app need my location history?
So they can see how often you go to Wendy's.
That's it. You're probably right. As well as every Wi-Fi driven by and attached to and where that's located. It's a whole thing. So I'm trying to find the best compromise between both and finally get it running. Right. And then I go through the order and do the thing that we did before, tapping all the order. I'm like, this is great. Putting the order in. I might even get Cobb salad satisfaction this time.
Maybe.
Great. only about 5-minute drive away, get the whole thing through. And then there's no way, I didn't see it initially, a way to put a credit card in and not have it retained. Well, I know most of you people out there like to have just, for convenience, I don't want my credit card stored in there, and I don't want it stored. And then it wouldn't take the one I wanted to use. It just kept circling and no message, no nothing. So then I went to one of those services that I use anyway to generate a credit card number, which you can lock it to a merchant or a one-time use or whatever, and generated that. That way I can at least audit the communication and see where it's falling down on its face and not getting approved or not going through. Right? Oh, I love that one. Put it right through. Order went through. Done.
Okay. Still waiting for the fatal flaw here. Other than you.
I'm getting there. So it's paid for, right?
Uh-huh.
Go head to the drive-through, pull up to the drive-through, and it's just like insurance. When you have insurance, you don't need it. When you don't have it, that's when you're going to need it. So I drive up, barely bring the van to a stop, and the speakers are already on. Hi, welcome to Wendy's. Will you be using the app today? And I'm thinking, I'm all proud. I'm like, why, yes, I will. Great. What's the name? I give them the name on the order. And then I realize I fought in my back and forth with boxing with my machine. I forgot to put in the dog burger.
Let's see, that's on you.
That's on me. And I'm thinking, I'm going to test the system. And so I said, and I have an additional order. Like, okay, this is where it's gonna go south right here. But nay.
Problem here.
No,
it's you.
She's like, oh, what did you want? And I give her, the order. It's like, that's great. Here it's this much. Pull around. Like, okay, that was way too easy. But I had to get the Doggie burgers. You know our Doggie. She's listeners out there. She's a Blue Heeler Rottweiler mix, and
it's big body, little head.
Yeah, so she's got head of a Blue Heeler, but the larger body of a Rottweiler, but a lot of the Blue Heeler colorings, and except for her back, which is all black, like a Rottweiler.
And her face, which has the more Rottweiler dots and stuff like that on it.
Yeah, and she's a little more jowly.
Yeah,
and she's a great dog. Kudos to the maestro. We were looking for taking care of my elderly in-laws, and they've always had a dog on the farm, and I'm allergic to dogs with oily, wiry hair. We tried, but that didn't work out.
So dogs.
Yeah. Well, the dogs, right. And the maestro finds this dog. He's like, this is the perfect dog. And I go and interview the dog at the Humane Society, right? Or is it the Humane Society? The shelter.
I don't remember. It was a shelter.
Yeah. So I walked past the kitty committee, which that's the thing I never experienced before. Cats, cats, they look at you with a certain amount of derision.
They judge you. That's what they all do. It's cat thing.
But I've never been lined up in front of a grand jury of kitties before.
Well, I don't know what a group of cats is called, but I believe it's a Congress or a committee. If it isn't, it should be.
Well, it's a grand jury.
No, a group
never
of
been indicted. I was indicted on the way in. I was just like, all these cats, and the cats are coming out of nowhere. There's like 3 cats in a line. They're all looking at me.
Every day you see a walrus walking around. Do you blame them?
They're very judgy. Yes, you don't see those anymore. They're looking very judgy. Cat comes out from around the building.
One comes out from underneath your car. You don't know how it got there.
Well, and then I realized there was no testimony I could give to relay my innocence. So I just
had to plead
no contest and move forward. But they were still really judgy. And
cats.
One of them, they are. One of them, I think, gave me, like the two claws to the eye and then pointing back.
Yeah,
at you,
I'm looking at you, kind of. Oh, we're watching you.
Yeah, right. So then I go to meet the doggy, and the doggy's like, "Hey, how's it going?" Oh, no, that's different. So yeah, went to meet the dog. Dog interviewed me, and
dog decided you were all right.
Yeah.
You'll do.
And she was so happy when we took her out of there.
Yeah, it's great. It was great. I came with you. We picked her up, and then she attached herself to me, even though you're the one that adopted her. It was great.
That's right.
Because I'm the one that rode in the back of the Suburban with her all the way back home.
Right. Yeah. But she was always she still remained up until recently, just a little aloof and reserved, even now. So she will throw throw you over for a better deal, or me, or anybody.
Better deal dog.
And I knew that was.
She's the Howie Mandel. She's the Howie Mandel of dogs. She's always looking for the better deal.
Somewhere between that and Monty Hall. And if back then, of course, she needed lots of petting and rubbing, and I get it. She was a young dog. She was brought to the shelter because she was overly aggressive, and no one noticed that she was pregnant, and she actually had a litter of puppies at the shelter.
And then and then all the puppies got adopted, and she didn't.
Right. So that's got to mess with that. I mean, 6 months in the joint will change a dog. So she's always just a little like, okay, can I get a better deal over here? So I knew that was going to be kind of a thing because I was out cutting brush, I was cutting a fire lane, and I had Doggie loved to come along. The blue heelers, they like to be with you all the time, which was
all
fine.
the time. They want to be attached to the hip.
And in her case, I think it's probably in the case of all of them, they want to be like a manager. They're like mid-level managers.
Yeah, they're supervisors.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the what do you call it? The general contractor. They're just kind of overseeing the whole thing.
Right. We had a friend who had a blue heeler, and her kids. It was also on a farm, and the kids weren't allowed to go down by the tractors, where like their father was with the tractors, without express permission and an escort. Right. Mm-hmm. And somehow the blue heeler figured that out before the kids did. Because the
dog's much smarter than the kids.
She was alerted to the two kids crying and hollering in the backyard, and the dog nudging them back away from the tractors towards the house. And she's like, you're not supposed to be back there by the tractors. So let's go. Well, Daddy's out there. No, listen to the dog.
The dog knows. The dog knows you're not supposed to be here.
Right. So I took her out into the woods, and I'm cutting the brush, and she's doing okay, and she's kind of sniffing around doing dog things. And I made one critical mistake, which I never made after that. I closed the door to the truck, right? Because when she's done with you, what does she do? She goes back and lays down, right?
Yeah, she walks away. She goes and lays down. If she can, she tries to lay down where she can watch you, but still lay down. But not on the ground.
Be managed. No, not on the ground. You need to be managed and
supervised. Elevated.
Right. So now I do that. Leave the truck door open so she can jump in, lay down on the seat. Because when she gets bored, because like I'm not actively engaged with her, I'm like doing work, she'll need someone somewhere nearby keep an eye on me, make sure I'm doing it right or not getting in trouble, but enough. So she went all the way back to the farmhouse looking for a better deal.
Quarter-mile ish.
Yeah, maybe a little more. Yeah, but
third of a mile,
third of a mile, somewhere in there. Yeah. And so I'm done cutting my lane there, and I putting the tools back. I'm like, I'm calling for the dog. There's no dog. I'm like, she ran off, and indeed she did, but she didn't run off. She just returned to base.
It's an old Yeller situation. Is Timmy stuck in the well again?
Right. And then we realized that no, if I was stuck in the well, the dog would be done with me. And she'd be like, hey, are you okay? Yeah, you're fine. And then head back to the house.
Would look over the edge of the well, look at you, and go, yeah, you'll be fine, and walk away.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
you're going to be okay down there? Nah, you're fine. I'm going over here. I'm going to see if I can get some treats.
That's
best of luck to you.
As in epitome of dogs always looking for better deal or treats, the dog did steal beef jerky right out of the hand of our cousin.
Yes, right.
Just walked up behind him, and he was holding it down by his pocket, and she ever so gently bit down on it and just slowly pulled it out of his hand before he even noticed. And he only noticed when he went to go take a bite out of his jerky, and it was gone.
That's right.
And the dog's over in the corner going, nah, 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 nah.
Yeah. So the Doggie and I now, here in our retirement villa, have become pretty bonded. And I'm starting to understand what she's saying. And she's become a lot more vocal, because initially she wouldn't say anything. But now she's become more vocal.
She'd only bark if she got really excited.
And this is why it's coming back around, because when she has to stay, and she's good. If I tell her she has to stay, she does. She doesn't bolt for the door or anything like that. She
doesn't tear up the furniture.
Right. No, nothing. She makes some questionable deals on eBay, but whatever,
Sometimes she clears your browser history. It's, whatever.
Yeah, clears all my photos,
Right, all your bookmarks.
That's cost of doing business. Yeah. You come back and there's incriminating nose prints,
Yeah.
But I'm starting to understand what she's saying. And some of it, I come back the other week from visiting mom, and she's just manic. She's bouncing around, and she's giving me a lecture. Like, how
reading
dare
the riot act.
Raw, it was bad. It's like, you need supervision. How dare you? But there was a mix of that and a really excited 10-year-old telling you about their outing for the first time, right? It's like,
Coral,
there's some of that.
And a dog,
how dare you?
Cat,
how dare you?
And a tree.
And then I was sitting in your chair, and then there was this really weird spider, and then you were home, and then there's a mix of that. There's a mix of that, and then she's running and jumping as like she is, and then of course gets the zoomies, and I have to chase her around, which is it's all a good time. And then all the while she's reading me the Doggie Riot Act for leaving her behind. So what I'm thinking of is I've got to add the Doggie Burger into the order because otherwise
mitigates the Riot Act.
Oh, it's gonna be more. And you didn't bring me a treat. And look at all. And no.
I could smell it on you. You got all that food for yourself, and you didn't get me anything.
And I sit here and I work and I manage and I look after things the best if I can. And you need me. Yeah. Oh no.
She's that crazy. She's the crazy ex-wife that is really high maintenance, but only some of the time.
Sometimes, but only some of the time.
Most of the time, she's fine. She's very chill, very loving. Every now and again, you walk away for too long, and then you come back, and she's just off the rails.
Well, and that's partly cattle dogs, because I read about cattle dogs, the healers. They can be really manic.
Yeah, up and down.
Well, they can be, but lots of energy, lots of just very kinetic.
Right, which is balanced out by the fat, barrel-chested Rottweiler that just wants to lay there like a lump on a log.
Yeah, so this is a dog that alternates between being total potato and zoomies.
Right.
I mean, when she was young, she would go out and she would go out and herd the deer. I'm like, this is awesome. I could send the dog out, and then the dog would just line them up for me in the front yard, and I can choose the one I'm going to hunt.
Oh, it's because the dog was looking for her next snack.
Well, she was. Yeah, she was. And for those people sensitive about deer hunting, if you don't hunt them, they overpopulate, they get sick, and then the whole herd suffers. At least they're doing well. I'm doing well. Everybody wins, except, of course,
somebody's doing well.
The one that doesn't, but, hey.
Well, he doesn't care about it anymore.
Circle of life. We just try to be as ethical as we can. And
anyway.
So I'm thinking to myself, no, I got to do the dog burger because, yeah. Besides, she's a great companion, and she does pass the guardian dog test naturally, right? There's a guy that came when we were going to build the big barn, the big new storage barn. There was an old wooden shed in the way, and it's like, it's a nice shed. It was built up by the previous owner by hand. It's sitting on blocks. There's no reason why it couldn't be moved. I just don't want it because it's too small. He used to keep his boat, outboard motors, and fishing stuff in. It's like a fishing shed.
It wasn't really. It was bigger than a shed, but smaller than a traditional garage.
Yeah. It was enough for little fishing supplies and whatever.
Or small car,
small one. Small boat. Maybe
a little John boat. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
I think that's what he had in there, and so the guy, we were trying to find someone who will take it. Well, there's a guy across town that looks like he'll take anything based on his yard. And sure enough, he's like, oh yeah, that's a nice shed. I'll take that shed. And boy, our doggie did not like him.
There's been a few people.
There has been. It's like that guy at the AutoZone. Remember the guy in the AutoZone?
Yeah, that was weird. She was all friendly and happy.
That guy's like,
and then that guy walks in and she
slides under the door. And he's standing next to the cooler, the glass shelf door cooler thing with the the Cokes in it, and the impulse rack that has basically beef jerky, M&Ms, and a knife wrench for your impulse.
Hats.
And a hat.
Don't forget the hats.
Right. Which I wish I would have bought a knife wrench. That was awesome. Crescent wrench with a knife in the handle. It's beautiful. So like the dogs that I worked with years and years ago, she's looking at the guy and she's like, hey. So I tell the guy,
I'm holding the leash.
You might want to we'll wait. Just go take care of the other guy. And they talk to him for, I don't know, what are they doing? And he just slinks out under the door and disappears, right? It's like,
right.
Okay. Doggie was probably right on that one. That guy was slinking around to take steal a knife wrench or something. I don't know.
Something. Or just generally
when
greasy.
the guy comes to get the shed, I'm building our slope because I was already sloping the house.
Yeah, pre-sloping.
Well, yeah. It's a land bridge between the driveway and the house. And the guy comes and Doggie instinctively just steps between me and him. I mean, she's not growling. She's not really barky or anything, but he reaches down to pet the dog. And of course, for the listeners out there, Maestro is the dog whisperer. And he did a lot of cool things working with our doggie. And one of them was that if you don't greet the dog, you greet the person. You
never greet the dog first.
Right. Never greet the dog first. That's an important safety tip for you little leaguers out there. You always greet the person.
Well, I got that from Cesar Millan. Now, I watched a lot of Cesar Millan and other dog trainers talked about you never greet the dog, you always greet the person because you want to put the dog below the person so that the dog doesn't feel like it's elevated to the same level. It keeps the pack structuring.
So I give him the fist pound, and because the look in Doggie's eyes was not Blue Heeler, it was Rottweiler. He was looking at him like, I'm going to take these parts off first, and then I'm going to bite you over here,
and then I'm going to bite you there, and then I'm going to bite you over there.
Like, this is serious. I cannot have her biting a stranger, or anybody really. And being a Blue Heeler, she's going to naturally want to nip anyway.
Yeah, she gets a little nippy sometimes when we play, but it's okay.
Yeah, more mouthing than nipping. But I don't need the Rottweiler to kick in and start, tearing parts off.
Right.
Don't start tearing off parts.
Mouthing and nipping is fine because it's like a little bite. It's like, light bite. It's fine. It's the clamping part of it where she just digs in. Anyway.
Right. But did you clamp down? Maybe a little. Bad. Anyway.
A little clampage.
So it went from, I'm going to take these parts off first to, the paw to the eye, back over to I'm watching you. And so then the guy did his thing and she was fine. But what was interesting was that she immediately went, because she was just sniffing around and looking for small game and whatever.
Being a dog.
And being a dog. And hoping to find some goats to herd, whatever.
Something.
She keeps asking for goats. Yeah.
Bunnies. She can herd cats.
Yeah, one of the few creatures that I'm sure could do that. Herd cats. In fact,
she used to do it at the shelter.
She's probably the one that formed the kitty committee.
Right. She herded them all. You guys all be friends now. And then you and I, and then all of you and I will be friends.
And then you report to me, and then I'll tell the people. Right. Yeah. I hadn't thought about it before, but that's probably what was going on. Anyway.
You tell me, and then I tell the people, and then the people make decisions with their thumbs.
A point here.
Did you? I'm not sure you did.
Oh, yeah. So I got to make sure I have the doggy burger. And that's why I wanted to test this. I'm going to put the system to the test. I don't want to put the system to the test, but I'm going to. Right. So everything's going way too smoothly, which is like alerts me a little bit. I'm like, okay, what's going to fall? Something's going to fall. Something is going to fall down here. So I pulled out to the window.
Most likely you.
Oh, that's a gibbon.
No, gibbon's a small monkey with really long arms that likes to play practical jokes.
Oh, they don't fall down?
Not a whole lot, no.
Okay, so I'm the one falling down here. I'm going to fall down. So I get to the window.
You get to the window.
And there's a nice young lady with a very, how do I say it? Melanin challenged, right? She's of the northern tribes.
Oh, you can clean her with Windex and a squeegee.
Yeah, that fear the glowing orb, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's got lighter colored hair. But
if she's out at night, she could get a moonburn.
Yes. And she's very competent on the register and very competent on the speaker, which really threw me for a loop. She's really good. It's like the kind of level I used to train people to. It was really good. From the time I opened the app to the time I got to the speaker, 12 minutes. All right. But got to the speaker, bam, right to the window. No worries.
Hey.
It was great. But I was freaked out a little bit. She was talking to me completely stone-faced, but her voice was very friendly, personable. She's like doing ventriloquism.
Maybe she's practicing.
I guess, because it was good. Okay, so here's the fatal flaw. They're all standing around. The order isn't pre-made. It's paid, but it's not pre-made. That's fine. But there's 4 people standing around the screen trying to figure out how to make the order.
Let's get to the fatal flaw here.
You've prepaid it.
Yes.
You're committed. There's no way you can pull the ripcord. I could not start an order at Outback and see which one comes in first. Had there been a congestion at the drive-thru, I would have been 100% committed.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the fatal flaw. The young lady running things at the window was on the case. The fatal flaw is if someone doesn't see the order on the screen, if someone doesn't pay attention to the alerts, because then you're committed and you're stuck. There you are. There's no way to bail.
That would happen if they did the same thing if you were ordering it through the drive-thru regularly.
Right, but I haven't given my money. To me. Oh yeah. Anyway,
where I'm sitting in the pulled up position, sitting there for 30 minutes, waiting for my food to come out, and then it never comes out, and I eventually have to get out of my car and walk inside, thereby defeating the purpose of the drive-thru to then go, where's my food?
Oh, angry walrus at the front counter. Everybody hide in the safe room.
If it's a Burger King, I just walk into the back and start making it myself.
Oh, I've been tempted to do that a couple of times. So at the end of all that,
the fatal flaw is you just don't want to have to wait.
No, I want to be able to bail because I've now adopted the Maestro strategy of being able to bail and not being overcommitted.
Don't use the app.
I'm just giving you my perspective. That's all.
I'm telling you, your perspective is wrong.
I think you're getting a little way too personal.
It's not personal. It's that your perspective is wrong and stupid.
Well, I'm sure you're not the only one who thinks that way, but it makes the broadcast interesting.
Makes something interesting. Good.
So
that was your takeaway? You had all of that and you still got the food. Did you get the doggy burger?
Yeah, I did.
So you got all the food.
It was made wrong.
You spent about the same amount of time in the drive-thru.
It was made wrong.
It's a dog burger.
No. The main entrees were made wrong.
Oh, well that's... What?
Yeah.
How'd they screw that up?
I don't know. I mean, there was a whole convocation around the screen, and they must have had they got a quorum together and then formed a committee and then decided that they should
there's the problem. They didn't have any cats in that committee, and therefore everything was wrong.
Yeah, and unfortunately the health department won't allow it. But at least a dog, you get a dog, like our dog. She could have managed that.
Yeah, she probably could manage that.
Give me everything you got on the grill. Just give it to me, and then we'll figure it out. Okay.
Just put the chili container on the ground, and then we'll figure this out.
I was to the point where I was almost felt like tapping on the window. Is there some confusion I can help you with? Yeah, no, they did not make the entrees correctly, and the straws were all split down the middle. You try to drink your drink, and it's like,
cool.
So, I went back, could I have some straws that aren't split up the middle? She's like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I wouldn't have expected it either. So then she's pulling them out. To her credit, she's looking at him. She's like, oh, wait, that one's split. That one's split. That one's split.
I know what happened.
Here's a good one.
Somebody used a knife to open the straws and just cut through a bunch of straws.
They use a butcher knife? Because she's pulling them out. She's pulling them out. Okay, that one's split. That one's split.
The overstuffing the package and they get
please refill the drink station. I'll refill your drink station. Yeah. Yeah.
Stupid drink station. Yeah.
So we pull away, and I can still see her. Okay, that one's split. That one's
right. You've given her a new task.
Right, which is great. I'm glad there's the one person there, even though her face doesn't move.
Still on the face thing.
That's on it. It was freaky. It was like watching Jeff Dunham without the puppets.
Well, you were just watching the puppet.
No, I was watching the ventriloquist with no puppets. She could have started talking like the drink station. I would have believed it. I would have believed the thing was talking because
maybe it was. There. You don't know.
Yeah, maybe it was. Maybe she was the puppet. No, that doesn't make sense.
I think you're just paying too much attention to who's talking to you because I don't even look. I can't. If I'm going through the drive-thru in my car, I can't even see the person talking to me.
I'm observant, and
it's just an arm. It's just an arm out of the window. I can't cannot see their face from my car. I'm so tall, and the car is so low that the drive-thru window is just above the roof of my car. I actually have to reach out and up to hand them the card.
Yeah,
I'd have a better time seeing them through the sunroof.
Hang on. The the fishing line's ringing. Imagine that.
Oh, I don't want to imagine that.
Thank you so much.
I called. I was trying to teach my dog a new trick. She's a stubborn pupil, but I love a good distraction. What's going on?
Basically, Spectrum running a promotion and offering you a discount on your monthly bill. So you want to load down your monthly bill?
Hey, life is good with me. How are you doing? Ross got.
What did you say? What did you just say?
Imagine this.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Hello.
What's going on?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
This is Alex from Spectrum. How?
Yes. Sure.
Yes.
An emotional offer. Ooh. I think I've made a few of those.
Did you hear that? The guy said, "Hey, first of all,
I didn't hear anything he said.
Oh, sorry.
He's just all mumbly. No, he's just mumbly.
Yeah. Well, right, because he's trying. Did you hear? The guy says, "I'm confused." Boy,
I heard that.
Confused.
I'm confused. Yeah. I am confused on what.
And did you hear at the beginning? He's because it's the old man AI he happened to get, and finally he gets out that he's for Spectrum, right? The cable television.
Yeah, I didn't understand when he first.
Internet.
I know this. Like, dude, take the marbles out of your mouth while you're talking.
He said, maybe you couldn't hear it very well. He says, "I have an emotional offer." Was it really
emotional offer? Like I said, I think I've made a few of those.
Yeah.
I've made a few emotional offers in my day.
At least you know how he's going to be, what his sales approach is. He's going to try to emotionally sell you on giving away your money to a fake
and then he had the most flat affectation I've ever heard. So he didn't do a very good job of being emotional about his offer.
I think it's because Whitey confused him with trying to teach a dog a trick, right?
Yeah, it could be. Or it could be that he's a phone scammer and he's just dead inside, doesn't have any emotion to make his offer.
He is a phone scammer and might be dead inside, and clearly easily confused.
Clearly. Well, to be fair, the AI was also confused. So,
but it's supposed to be. He's supposed to be an old man who's like flying. He's out flying at one of his bits as he's flying a kite. Sorry, I'm just flying my kite.
Only kite in years.
The idea is to get the scammer off balance, and then
I think it worked on this one.
I seen somebody has a Trump cutout on the inside of their window, so it looks like Trump's riding in the passenger seat.
I've seen those. I've seen the stickers too. I've seen a sticker for Trump. I've seen a sticker for Clinton, Obama. I've seen Biden, but Biden's like looking at you. His is like he's like turned and bringing down his sunglasses. I've seen the Queen as well. The Queen's always really funny with Queen Elizabeth. The former Queen. May she rest in peace. It was always really funny to have Queen Elizabeth in the front passenger seat because
of course,
the Queen would definitely ride in the front passenger seat.
Well, you're gonna have all the corgis in the back.
Well, right. That's what the Land Rover's for. It's all the corgis. A royal motorcade is one extra car longer because one of them has all the dogs in it.
Yeah, gotta have room for the dogs.
Did you imagine being the British equivalent of the Secret Service and you have to drive the corgis?
I would go for that detail.
The corgi protection?
Yeah, the Royal Guard. I'm the corgi wrangler. Sure. Could I enlist the help of a cattle dog?
No, but it's just you've trained your whole life to be a well-honed soldier, killing machine, guard, right? And then your guard
don't take crap from anybody. Not tourists, not nobody.
Could kill every man in the room with just his eyebrow hair.
Right. And you're now a beefeater, right? That's what they call those guys, right? Beefeaters?
I don't know.
And the red jacket, the Royal Guard with the bearskin hat and all that.
Oh, those are the guys. Those aren't the guys I was talking about. Those are ceremonial guards. It's a big deal. It's like guarding the. I'm not downplaying their importance. They're like the 2 million.
Oh, you're talking about the internal security guys, like.
Yeah, I'm talking about the guys in this. Like they are equivalent of the Secret Service.
Right.
Because those are the guys that guard the palace, and then she has other guys that look like Secret Service. They got the suits and the tie and the guns.
Right. Yeah.
Afraid of slopes.
Does that work out there? We should find out.
That follow her around that take her places, just like the Secret Service does for the president or whoever. You get pulled out of the SAS, like recruited out of the SAS to be one of the Queen's Guard, which I guess would be what they're called, or the King's Guard in this case now, right? You are the top of your class. You're the best of the best. You're the guy. And you're guarding corgis. Now, not a bad gig. But that is not something you can brag about to the buddies down at the bar. Oh, who are you guarding? I'm guarding the Queen's dogs.
It'd be the pub. Do those guys even go to the pub?
I mean, they have their own pub, I'm sure.
I don't know. We're gonna have to brush up on our international because and I would just for a moment here like to say thank you to everyone who's been faithfully listening to the podcast.
Yes,
because it is growing, and I'm absolutely shocked that people want to listen to this.
Shocked.
Nonsense.
Okay, well, not that shocked.
Shocked. Well, that people want to listen to this nonsense.
Oh,
And
totally.
I want to send a special shout out to the CIA listening post in the Persian Gulf. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't know why you're listening
what country
to us.
you're in.
Hopefully, it's entertainment, and we're not being like put on lists somewhere. Yeah.
Or it could be it could be worse. It could be the flip side. Maybe it's their government listening to us, trying to figure out what Americans are doing.
They got the wrong podcast.
Boy, are they going to be confused.
Unless all of a sudden the next terror attack comes through the Wendy's app.
Right.
We're gonna no. We're gonna screw with the Americans. So they get in there, they break the app, and they start changing everybody's orders. Massive
that
chaos
would screw with Americans.
and hysteria.
Sorry, this is a Wendy's.
Right. I didn't order 18. How did I ever order 18 bacon? You know what? I'll take them.
Yeah, that wouldn't even be a problem for me. Oh, I ordered 18 pretzel baconators. I did?
Right.
Oh, well.
Fortunes of war.
Yes, the spoils of war.
So that they have to fall back on their plan B to make us even fatter and more, don't even get me started.
No. They have the plan A is making us so fat and lazy we can't do anything. Plan B is when that doesn't work is just to bomb us because that might actually do something.
Anyway, wrong way around. Say thanks to everybody for listening. And if you hadn't figured it out already, everything on here is the long way because I'm involved. Yeah. So I want to tell you about the Navy vet I met.
Let me tell you about your car's extended warranty.
Are they still calling?
Every now and again.
Have gone away. My car's warranty did expire. Not one phone call. Not one. This actually was expired. No.
Not even a letter. Not even a courtesy letter.
For crying out loud, I'm clearing the hunting grounds at the second site that we have. It's an old home site. The home's long gone. I'm taking it out of the mailbox. I look in the mailbox, and there's a letter like postmarked 1962. I open it. I wonder what this is. So we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Come on! You get those, but when my warranty was expiring, does anybody call? Does anybody write? No.
Does anybody call or write anyway?
Well, yeah, but it's different.
So you met a Navy vet.
Yeah, he was a cool guy. He was a new resident living with in the same facility my mom is at, and he came by. I was driving the wheelchair back to the van, and he comes like, hey, because I'm wearing my Navy shirt. And he's like, hey, gotta say hi. And like, hey, how's it going? So I'll spare you the whole thing. He's a really neat guy. He's got one leg. He's got the legs all he's got a fake leg all decorated, a prosthetic, and he's darn proud of it. And it's like stars and stripes on it with the Navy seal.
Oh yeah, I'd have the stars and stripes. I'd have another one that's a like wood grain, so it looks like a peg leg.
Hi there.
You gotta pitch that to him. You gotta pitch the next time you see him. You gotta pitch that to him if he doesn't have one already.
So he's got
when you get the next one.
Do the Long John Silver. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. As he gets older, he's got to transition into the wooden-looking leg so that it looks like
he
a peg
is older.
leg.
He's a Vietnam vet.
Oh well, then perfect.
Yeah. So
he can go as a ship's captain for Halloween.
Maybe he could go to Long John Silver's and like do a little stand-up spot, and then he could get like Long John Silver's.
Right. There you go.
You could pay him in fried fish
for everyone.
No, he was a neat guy, and I wish I could have talked to him more because he certainly proved the rule of sailors and truck drivers that for every year they're in, they got 10 years of stories, and they were great. He was really neat. I would like to have listened to these stories, but I had to go. And part of the reason I had to go was it was the time of the day when my meds are kind of getting wacky, and I got to kind of recalibrate my vitals so I don't get too loopy, which might have contributed to the app thing, but yeah, no one will ever know. But
you'll know when the next time you go.
Hat. Oh, you're gonna like this. On his hat, on his cover, right? Because Navy. And he's got an Agent Orange ribbon.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's got the Agent Orange. No, which actually was the metal, right? The orange with the green in the center, whatever, for Agent Orange, which means he's officially exposed to Agent Orange.
Oh, is that what that means?
Yeah. It's like a Purple Heart, but for Agent Orange.
Yeah, but for Agent Orange, like you were exposed to it in Vietnam.
Verified. Like the government
they got a medal for that?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. That's not. I'm sorry. That came out kind of petulant, but I didn't know they gave out medals for that. I mean, they deserve it.
Oh, absolutely.
He
was saying that he got.
All jokes aside, folks, about the Agent Orange soda, which is I'm still working on.
Right. Well, there's a tie-in to that here.
All jokes aside, Agent Orange was nasty stuff, and it did a lot of nasty things to both our side and the other side. And the country of Vietnam in places is still recovering from it. It is very nasty stuff. And that's why I said they should absolutely get a medal for being exposed to it. It was done by the CIA and the feds as chemical warfare, even though they said it wasn't chemical warfare, but it really kind of was chemical warfare.
Well, they kind of claimed it was a defoliant.
Right, they claimed it was a defoliant, but it wasn't really it was a defoliant. It was if you also
it defoliates everything.
Right, I was going to say, if you also include people as plants, like it's a defoliant in the broadest sense possible. It'll kill plants. It'll also kill trees.
I'm thinking Navy, right? So what's the Navy doing in the interior of Vietnam?
Oh, MARSOC.
I'm ignorant. I'm in junior high school, when this is going on. So,
Right. Maybe MAXOG or Navy SEALs.
Yeah, maybe. But he's explaining. He was on. I'm just gonna, because I asked him. I said, "What's your?" This is what I said. We're for it. Now, you military guys out there will immediately kick me in the nuts because this is not right. I asked him. I tell you what, I'm already loopy, right? So I don't know how it popped in my head. You know how things pop in my head. So I asked him, "What's his MOT?"
Well, the whole podcast. This whole podcast is that.
So I asked him, what was his MOT? It's not what I meant to say, but I said it anyway.
His MOS.
Yeah, his MOS, right?
Yeah, slip of the tongue.
And he knew what I was talking about. He's like, okay, so he was a machinist mate. He was down in the engine room. I mean, that was his gig, right?
Yeah.
And he was let's just keep butchering the acronyms, shall we? The acronyms, right? He was upriver in an LLV, which I didn't even know they made back then. Delivering the mail.
Not that kind of LLV. Just dunce.
Grumman. Anyway.
Yeah, we know.
He was down. That was his space. Was down in the engine room, and he just wanted to come up on deck and see what was out and about. And it's like, wow, it's like some kind of weird mist. And everybody else on deck's like, yeah.
What is that?
Yeah. What is that? What's that rhythmic banging? What is that?
Yeah. What is that? What is that fine orange mist over the ground?
Right.
You ain't worried about that.
Command says it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Right.
He said 3 of his friends that were like the navigator and a couple of the guys that had deck positions.
Yeah.
All of them died of cancer. And he himself got pancreatic cancer and survived.
Well,
And he was he got an official Agent Orange ribbon and a settlement from the government as well.
Yeah. If you can prove you were exposed to Agent Orange in some way, you get a settlement and a medal because it was nasty stuff. Nasty.
So that's all.
That's what happened to a lot of people that got exposed to that. They all got different forms of cancer.
It just felt like a real heel. I mean, can you get the acronyms right?
Acronyms? Yeah.
The acronyms. Because, military guys are all big on the acronyms.
But you're not military. You're military adjacent.
I'm military adjacent. What can I say? And I'm a fan of, especially the Navy. And we have families actively serving in the Navy right now.
No, truly.
We could tell you what they're doing, but then we have to kill you.
Right. And we'd have to kill all 3 of you.
Right. So
it's not a long list.
I had, unfortunately, I wanted to talk more to him, but it was just not possible. I was starting to get that.
Well, the way you do that is you say, hey, you know what? I got to go take my meds. Why don't you come by tomorrow at this time and we can
Well, so I did. I said, I'm getting a little loopy because I'm overdue on some meds and my vitals are really getting shaken up. And since you live here, we'll see you in a week when we come back to visit Mom. So
cool. I misunderstood. I thought you were at home. He's at the nursing home with Grandma.
Yeah, he's at the assisted living. He's got.
Oh yeah, you definitely got to go back and see him specifically as well as Grandma.
So that's what I thought the tie-in was. I'll ask him about the Agent Orange soda. So is this funny?
Oh yeah, you got it.
We can't tell. We're looking for a certified source.
Is this funny or is this too far?
Is this good funny or bad funny?
Like that might be a tough one to broach, seeing as he was exposed to it. But he seems to have from what you've said, he seems to have a pretty good disposition. So maybe.
Yeah. No, he was a very pleasant person, very, very personable, and
I just from seeing how military humor works, from watching a lot of veteran people talk about their service and stuff like that, it's all real super dark, morbid, what they would call gallows humor.
Right.
And I just feel like the Agent Orange stuff might not. It's funny for regular people because like, oh yeah, I kind of know what that is. But it would be funny for those guys because it's a whole different thing.
Right. So
it's a whole different level to it.
I'm working on the can artwork.
Yeah.
I thought I would just go with the same colors as the ribbon itself. Right.
Yeah, that'd be good. Orange and green.
Right. And have the plane that's dropping it, that's spraying it. You're seeing it spray out, and the droplets, as they get closer, you realize they're oranges.
Perfect. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta go find,
and it's all done in the colors of the metal of the metal, the service metal.
Yeah, and you gotta go find, except for the plane. The plane's got to be either gray or green.
I was thinking about that. Would be kind of neat to have the plane there, and then
as they get closer, like as the droplets get bigger, they become oranges.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. No, that's great. I love it.
And I got to think of some kind of slogan like "We'll bomb your thirst" or something like that. But also do the can.
Disavow. I already got it. It just came to me. Disavow your thirst.
Perfect.
I'm just gonna play with we're playing off the murder.
Yeah, the whole CIA thing. Yeah.
The CIA thing, but it's liquid death is murder your thirst. The water in the can is murder your thirst.
Yeah.
Disavow your thirst.
Yeah.
We can either confirm or deny whether this drink is delicious.
All right, so you have to find out what plane they use to spray it. But I also thought about making the can look a little aged, like maybe some corrosion coming through.
Oh, definitely some corrosion.
So it looks like it's come out of the secret bunker. It's been sitting for decades.
Right, it's kind of like the white, because it would have been it's an aluminum can, so it'd be like white discoloration on parts of the label.
I'm just gonna, I know it would be an aluminum can, but we'll throw a little oxide in there, a little
rust, a little white.
Yeah, just have that patina to it to give it kind of a patina.
Because you have like the label get frayed in places, and then there's like rust behind it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Found this in a bunker.
You've just pulled this out of you've just discovered what they were dropping on the Viet Cong.
Yeah. So I'll talk to him a little more. And we'll see.
Yeah. No,
I don't want to be giving some poor guy flashbacks.
No, that's what I was worried about too. I'm like, man, that guy's actually been. But he told you the story about how he got exposed. It seems pretty
casually too.
Casual, yeah. He seems pretty casual about it. So maybe he'll be more open to listening to that joke. And you can put it all on me. I'll be the bad guy. I'll be the Agent Orange bad guy.
Lifetime supply for his endorsement. All that kind of stuff.
Well, that'd be awesome. If we can get that up and running and make him the spokesman.
Yeah, just see him wheeling around in his rascal with an Agent Orange in his cup cooler.
Oh yeah, and his government given Agent Orange medal.
Right, yeah. It's on his hat.
Agent Orange.
It's on his cover.
It's on his hat. It's on his car. So he gets to park at the front of the parking lot because he's got the little orange on his logo on his license plate, as he should.
Go to the VA. Hey, let's try this stuff. It's great.
Holy
crap!
The VA tried to shoo him out. Like, no, we don't talk about that here.
What? Orange soda? What? What's that?
Orange soda? Orange soda. Oh, come on, disavow your thirst.
Yeah. The doctor's been on like a sabbatical, working with Doctors Without Borders. Comes back to work, and all the vets in the waiting room are all drinking Agent Orange.
What did I miss? Nurse, what's happening here?
Picked the wrong day to quit barbiturates.
Poor doctor.
That was kind of this week's adventures in a nutshell. And we've hit, and you know what? And no police stories or anything either, because we just have to save that. Yeah, because we're already up against time. Can you believe it?
Overtime at this point.
Well, it's what we do. So once again, thanks to everyone. Well, it's what happens. It's what people tune in for.
Is it?
It is.
Is it really?
It is.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is.
Yeah,
it is. Totally.
Yeah, because otherwise it'd be a completely different podcast and over in 5 minutes. So
he'll be like, I'm not talking to you anymore. Click.
that's right. Every family Thanksgiving ever.
Nobody wants that. That's what every other.
Myself.
That's what every other quote unquote comedy podcast is turned into. Is just everybody's Thanksgiving dinner.
I guess I haven't really listened. Maybe I should do research, but I haven't listened to too many.
No, don't taint yourself like that. It's not worth it.
Right. Let's keep it raw, original. You know.
Yeah,
we got to go find those
flavor.
people in Menards now and give them links to the podcast. Go, here, you wanted us to do it? We're doing it.
Yeah. We have to go find all those cashiers we've ever interacted with over the years and go, here.
Right.
We should do a podcast. We are.
Yeah, we
so
are.
what we need to do is
By the way,
we just need to have business cards.
Buy some Agent Orange.
Business cards made up.
And get a slope.
It's the front side is the podcast. The back side says 1-800-SLOPE-ME.
Yeah, the sponsors. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
CIA Cola.
No, it's Viet Cola.
No, it's Viet Cola, but the underlying company is CIA, and it's C like SEEIEYA. I'm not sure how to spell the A yet. Yeah.
EH. A.
Yeah.
Like a Canadian.
CIA Cola beverages. You know.
Beverages. CIA beverages.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll get muddled with the other things.
Right. Figured that'll be the company, the beverage company that would formulate to do it. So coming soon to I don't know where.
Undercover flavors.
Right. Wow, the mind is buzzing with all kinds of possibilities for that. But first things first, we got to run it by a real Vietnam vet.
Not only a vet,
certified.
but a real vet that's been there, done that.
Yeah. Right. Because I don't want to be.
Insensitive?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we don't want to mess with those guys.
We got a lot of respect for our military guys. It's
definitely.
I don't want to be responsible for more PTSD.
Stepping on toes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
right, let's
take a drink of coffee. Yep, let's auger this baby in, and thank everybody for listening. Thanks for the stars on the reviews on Spotify. Keep that up.
Yeah, please.
And and
we
joke
Twitter
around
Drake
about
and Maestro.
Drake and Maestro, exactly.
Oh, but the stars help. It helps teach the algorithm that you want to see this, and that other people might want to see it. And we do have to play the almighty algorithm a little bit because it kind of does help us grow.
Yeah. So, thanks for listening, and adios.
Adios.
Adios. Adios, muchachos, compañeros. When you get out of here.